What are the Bears going to do? What are the Bears going to do? And are the Cowboys up for the Giants challenge? I'll talk about that and then some. You're listening to Ernest James Speaks About Things. I want to take the time to thank everyone for listening. If you like what you hear, hit the like button. However you're hearing this, however you're watching this, if this is on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Everything that you can do in order to help get things in circulation is greatly appreciated. How are you? Are you all living under the euphoria of the upcoming election with Donald Trump telling everybody he's going to protect all the women? Women will not have to worry about anything. Are you living under that euphoria because you don't have to worry about anything because Donald Trump is going to fix it? He's going to fix everything. How he's going to fix everything, I don't know, but he's going to fix everything. Are you living under that euphoria? Or are you like, hey, man, we have a little bit of time for that. We have a little bit of time to deal with him. Let's get on about these Bears, the Cowboys, and some of the other things going around in football and in sports in general this time around. Also, near the end of the show, I am going to spill my guts a little bit. I have kind of like an ode or remembrance of segment that I'm going to do near the end of the show. But again, thank you all for listening and let's get into it. The Chicago Bears, they are 2.5 point favorite against the Los Angeles Rams this Sunday. And while it's a home game, it leads me to believe that if the Bears were in LA, they would be the underdog, which shows a lot of confidence that Vegas has in the Bears faithful. And it's quite telling, to be honest. A lot of people are not necessarily convinced. There are a lot of people who watched this past game against the Colts and they are ready to throw themselves on the buses and all those different things because for I'd say the better part of 3 quarters, the Bears stunk. Specifically the running game and the offensive line, specifically. They stunk. And it's, you have a rookie quarterback. Your rookie quarterback's not supposed to throw the football 52 times in his third game of his NFL career. It's not USC anymore. You make this great investment in this rookie and you send him out there and you're already overusing him. It's a little too soon for that, you know? And a lot of that is blamed on the running game. A lot of that is blamed on, or lack of running game. And a lot of that is blamed on the play of the offensive line. However, if you take the time to force feed the run in, throw some running plays in, like commit to running the football at least 18 to 25 times, then maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of Caleb Williams. It doesn't matter if you're getting a yard or if you're getting 3. Showing a commitment to the running game keeps defenses on balance and it opens things up for the receivers. Good news for the receiving corps. Keenan Allen did practice from according to reports. He did practice today, and that's a wonderful thing because it's someone who's been there, done that. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get open. He'll create a safety valve for Caleb Williams to find when he is in some trouble. And it is another target that this Rams defense is going to have to contend with. The Rams are, statistics be damned, but numbers never lie. The Rams are ranked dead last in the NFL in overall defense. So one would think that the Bears could have their way. One would think, one would hope that the Bears could have their way, but it's kind of difficult to believe in that when you have a running back who has one more yard than the starting quarterback, and this said running back leads the team in rushing yards with a measly 68 yards on the ground and over 30 carries. 1.8 rushing yards per carry. That's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. And if I'm DeAndre Swift, I'm gonna put him on a milk carton. Anyone familiar with me from the deep radio days? I used to have a segment, and I might have to bring it back for DeAndre Swift and others. Where the hell have you been? Where it would be this music artist, they made a hit record, typically one hit wonders or couple hit wonders, make these different songs, good songs, make you feel good, and you're like, okay, is that it? is this is this all you're gonna do? This what you got to entertain me? Where did you go? DeAndre Swift is a borderline Pro Bowler, or was a borderline Pro Bowler in different points in his career. Where did he go? Was the signing a mistake? I'm starting to think that, in all honesty. And I know I'm not the only person who feels that way, that the Swift signing was a mistake. Or is it just the game plan that Shane Waldron is running out there, where he's trying his best to showcase the rookie, to showcase the arm, and allow him to read the defenses? The only way he can read the defenses fully as a passer is to be a passer. But I think personally, it's just a little too much too soon, and they're gonna have to rely on the running game at some point. Chicago gets cold out there. What you gonna do when the temperature is 20 degrees, or when there's a foot of snow outside and the turf or grass is snowy, it's slippery? That passing game may be there for a little bit, but they're gonna have to grind it out some. And in order to do that, you got to build some confidence, not only with Swift but with the offensive line. They have to get a push. The A lot of the discussion was on the now infamous photo of the majority of the Bears offensive line falling on their asses during the 2-point conversion that didn't work out. And it was a stark difference from last year's photo, first game of the season last year, with Justin Fields and many of the Bears players playing in a rainstorm. They had their own version of a slip and slide going on. But that was a fun moment. The snapshot of the Bears offensive line all falling on their asses, or all have fallen down. Like, I fall down and I can't get up. The sign of that was just, it was embarrassing. It really was. So I hope those guys, they take that personally. I hope that some professionalism kicks in for them, and they start being the competent bruisers that they're supposed to be. Open up some running lanes. Create the passing lane. What about having the tight end chip? Where's Kari Blasingame? No game for him except for the special teams? No. Come on, you're a fullback. You're holding the roster spot. We need you to chip on this defensive end. Help this rookie out. Do everything you can to help this rookie out. I mean, it's the investment, right? You made the investment. You got a wonderful, wonderful haul in order to get this number one overall pick in Caleb Williams. One of the what's now going to go down as the most lopsided trade in the NFL in the last 10, 15 years. And Carolina still owes the Bears a second-round pick next year, which is guaranteed to be in the lower third of the draft. So why not do everything that you can in order to preserve Williams' career? Like, please, I'm begging you. But one of the things that hurts is the fact that Caleb Williams has one less rushing yard than DeAndre Swift. I talked about the other day having some screen passes with the running back. Like, try that. Run them up the middle, you know, with the right guard pulling. Play towards your strengths. You got Tevin Jenkins out there to open up a running lane on the left side. Utilize him. Now Jenkins needs to stay on his feet, but if he can stay on his feet, utilize that. You know, there's some things to make it work. Shotgun runs, that doesn't always work. You got to get down to the nitty gritty meat and potatoes of football sometimes, so that Caleb's progression isn't just, I got my ass beat on this last play. Now I have to watch out for the blitz. What stops the team from blitzing? Well, one, you punish them up the middle. And Williams was finding Cole Kmet up the middle, tight end, sure handed. Boom. That helped. Boom. Okay. What also slows down a blitz is a proper running game. Now, granted, they're run blitzes, but if there's a blitz coming up the middle and you're able to spot it, switch the play up a little bit. Offensive line need to communicate. Hey, I see a blitz. I see this linebacker. He's coming up the middle. Or I see this safety. He's cheating on the left side. You pull here. I'm going to get this guy. And you get the attention of the tight end. Bring him over. Tight end, I need you to tip. I need you to tip. I need you to tip over and just give this rookie an extra split second so that DJ Moore or Rome Odunze or Keenan Allen or Cole Kmet, one of them can get open. That's all. And that will force opposing defenses, to think twice about how they blitz. It's not going to stop them from blitzing because Williams is a rookie. And they're going to keep doing it as long as it works. But if Williams starts picking it up and starts changing things, and the offensive line picks it up and starts changing things, then it makes the opposing coaches have to accommodate for that. Now it gets them to thinking, and they're like, oh shit, what we were trying to do, it doesn't work, so we got to try to do something else. Plain and simple. Now, we all knew that the defense was going to they were going to carry the team for a little while. How I saw it, the defense was going to carry the offense for about the first half of the season. And when Caleb has his aha moment, when he has an aha game, all great players have that. I can actually do this. When he has that moment, and he may have had that moment versus Indianapolis, we'll find out on Sunday. But when he finally has that game, like, I could do this, then you'll start seeing the offense flourish a little bit. But none of that shit matters if the running game is not up to snuff. None of that shit matters. Because then what they'll do is they'll just play outside, play zone, dare Caleb to throw. Because they know the running game ain't shit. That's all they'll do. But this upcoming game against the Rams is winnable. I mean, there's no Puka Nacua. There's no Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford, he's going to be relying on Kyren Williams in the running game. We may actually see a Blake Corum sighting in this particular game. I'm not going to say that the Rams are 100% one-dimensional, but it's going to be a slow down, we're going to run the football, grind it out type of game from the Rams' perspective. So what the Bears can do to counter that when they have the football is get downfield after getting good field position. When they do get it, as the defense forces it, get downfield, have a balanced attack, maybe 40-60 runs to pass ratio would be nice. Not a 30-70 like what we saw against the Colts. Make it a lot more balanced and grind it out some. Keep the Rams defense on the football field some because it will negate whatever they do when they have the football. If the Bears can chew up some clock, and score. Operative word in football is scoring. The Bears have to score. And they cannot get into a situation where they're playing from behind. That's one of the reasons why I think the running game has been abandoned the first 3 games, because in each game they were playing behind. Game 1, they didn't have the lead up until the final several minutes of the fourth quarter. The majority of that game they were playing from behind, even though, it was a 1-possession game or low 2-possession game, but still, they have not played with the lead, really. So this time out, hopefully they play with the lead and they go from there. And we'll see. We'll see what it turns into. Don't be surprised if that number shrinks a little bit in regards to the 2.5, them being 2.5 favorites. I can see a few people thinking, well, the Bears aren't shit. They can't run the football. Caleb Williams is a rookie. Doesn't matter if this Rams defense is struggling. I'm gonna put money on the Rams. That potentially could happen, but it's a winnable game. It's one of 6 winnable games in a row that the Bears have on their schedule. And in order to turn things around, it's one play at a time. It's grind it out. It's play balanced, not force the rookie to do so much, not until he's shown that he's ready. Keenan Allen being back is a huge plus. I don't want to see Shelton Coleman. I don't. Unfortunately, we're stuck with him for now. And I don't want to see Nate Davis. I don't. Nothing against him. I just don't want him on my football team. I don't want him blocking for this rookie. Second year in a row where we've been disappointed as a Bears fan. Second year in a row where this disappointment has taken place. And if it weren't for the money, I wouldn't be surprised if the front office was like, see you later. Go find another team. Can't play here because you're going to get our guy hurt. With this amount of investment that we've made in this rookie, you're going to get him hurt. We can't have you here. So that wouldn't surprise me. But there's money involved, and we all know contracts in football can be very complicated. What's the cap hit? Is there someone better on the street? Is there someone better in the practice squad or on anyone's practice squad? We don't know. But I wish we didn't have to see Coleman Shelton. And I wish, hopefully, there's no Nate Davis sightings. So, if I were to predict, and it's probably too early to make a prediction because we don't know if someone's going to get hurt between now and game time. But if I were to make a prediction, I think the Bears win this big. I do. I think the Bears win 24-13. And to me, that's a big win for the home fans. That could instill some confidence in the players going forward, and maybe they'll get on this roll that they need to get on because it's time for them to eat. It's time for them to show the promise that we all have been looking for from this team, and we'll see. We'll see. So the Cowboys, they have been cowboying. Sorry to my Cowboys fans, friends who are Cowboys fans, or just Cowboys fans in general. I'm so sorry that your team is struggling right now. But guess what? You all get the Giants. Your next game is against the Giants on Thursday Night Football. And reports have come out where Dak Prescott has pretty much challenged the team. Him and CeeDee Lamb, they had words on the sideline. Like they're not, and not fighting words, but hey man, we really got to get our acts together. And it's good to see. It's good to see that they care. Do they have enough to actually make some damage? No, not at all. To be honest, they need another receiver. They need another sure-handed receiver who can take the top off of a defense. And those guys, you're not going to get those guys at all, really. And if you do get them, you're not going to get them cheaply. You know, this is going to be some form of bastardization that I'm going to say. But a guy like Chase Claypool, someone who's playing for his or wants to play for his NFL career because he wants another NFL check, another NFL payday. That's the type of guy that the Cowboys should be looking at. Someone who may actually have some hunger and some fire left. The talent is there, but it's all about the hunger and the passion. But if he has some passion, that's the type of player that they need to take a swing on because it's not a lot out there in free agency for them. But they need one more playmaker. They should beat the Giants handily. I think Malik Neighbors is going to give them some trouble. And that young man's a beast. This rookie class, everyone was talking about the quarterbacks, but the wide receivers class, there was some legitimate studs in that class. Wow, Malik Neighbors, so far, my vote for Rookie of the Year. So far, it's early, still early, you know, and there'll be some argument for Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels will wait and see what defenses do to adjust to him. Because right now, he's playing well. He's playing great. The completion percentage is off the charts. But we'll play the wait and see game with him because defenses do get smarter now that there's film out there on him. Defenses will try some different things with him. So that's a wait and see. More so than with Malik Neighbors because, well, Neighbors has he has a guy throwing him the football. I'm not a Daniel Jones fan by any stretch of the means, but Daniel Jones is a professional quarterback. I can say that. Not going to besmirch his name, but someone with Malik Neighbors' talent, you just need to be able to get the ball in his hands and let him cook. That's all. And Daniel Jones has done just that, putting the ball in Neighbors' hands and let him cook. So Dallas will have their handfuls with that, and they'll have their hands full with Devin Singletary. He's one of those running backs who if you play fantasy football, if you partake in that, you kind of dismiss him a little bit. But then you look up at the end of the season and you're like, how the hell did he rushed the football for 1,000 yards or 950 yards and score 8 touchdowns? I didn't really see that coming. Like, how did he do that? Because it's like, I think he's trash. That's what people would say. But then you look at the numbers, and the numbers show a consistent running back. So I'm not going to say the game is going to be easy for the Cowboys tomorrow, but one of the big differences is when they get the turnovers, the Cowboys, when they force teams into turnovers, they front run as much as they can. And since Daniel Jones has been the quarterback of the Giants, he's pretty much just handed the Cowboys the football, like gifts at Christmas time. That's pretty much what he's done. So I see that being a thing. I do. Um, but I also see a competitive game as well. Much more competitive game than what many people what many people realize. So we'll see. I'll be tuning in. Hopefully you all will be tuning in. So well, time's almost up for me. I mentioned that I wanted to go in a particular direction, kind of remembering um, something that has been important to me as a Chicagoan, important to me and many other Chicagoans or just people who follow Chicago sports. And that's NBC Sports Chicago. It has been a website that and network that I have watched or read for the better part of, I'll say, 30 years, maybe 30 years. I really don't know how long they're going to be around, how long they've been around, not be around. But they're shutting down shop as of September 30th, and it made me kind of sad because someone who I've when I was younger, I wanted to be the person with the microphone in hand, talking to the athletes, the of any team, talking to the coaches. I wanted to be in the locker room, like just getting stories, putting stories together. I'm grew up reading a lot of Sam Smith, who is a ChicagoBulls.com writer. Um, Reading his stories. I've been reading the newspaper since I was 6, 5, give or take. Reading the newspaper, drinking my coffee. As a young man. And I went to the website today, NBC Sports Chicago, and I know that the network is closing down, but it on the bulletin it's just flash breaking that the site will now shut down as of the 30th. And that time is like we're talking a little more than a week. Like the countless stories, the countless insight that I would get from the talented group of writers that they had on the site. Me applying to be one of the writers on that site some years ago. Um, they were great for the sports culture. They were great to be educators when it came to being educators of Chicago sports. There was a lot of insight that I got from there and others got from there. Again, a lot of talent, you know, so much talent where someone like myself couldn't be a part of it because it's just too much talent. But it's shutting down, and it's one less place for someone like myself to go. Thinking about the jobs, I I've known people who've written for them. I've known people who've worked behind the scenes for them. Been in the same room as some of them. Um, think about I can't think of his last name. Gentleman by the name of Lynn, and I remember sitting with him while we were covering the Chicago Fire soccer team for the couple of years that I did it. Him being the first person to reach out to me when my first time covering a game. It's the first game I had ever covered, and I was doing it for my own website. No, I was doing it for it was Bleacher Report. I was doing it for Bleacher Report, and my friend who had helped me get into the door to cover my first team. She introduced me to Lynn, and Lynn had been a writer for several newspaper publications and NBC Sports Chicago. And he had been gone at that time. He was gone from NBC Sports Chicago, but just hearing some of the stories, some of his memories that were fond about it, about working there. You know, it's a Chicago institution, and it makes me sad to know that they're gonna be closing down shop. You know, because there are a lot of stories. Some of the what if you've ever read any of my writing, my sports writing, some of the stories that I read from NBC Sports Chicago was what inspired me to step my game up as a sports writer. Now, I'm not necessarily well versed in analytics, but reading what I read, oftentimes, it taught me to look for other things, taught me to look for things, a game within the game, within the game. And again, knowing that they're going to be gone soon, it makes it bittersweet for me. But many good things have to come to an end, and I wish the talented staff there, I wish them well. Hopefully they land on their feet. Hopefully many of them get to be a part of the new incarnation of the sports mega giant that's going to be coming to the city. But I want to say to everyone that's ever written for that staff, for that site, done videos, things like that, thank you. Thank you for inspiring me to be a better writer. Thank you for inspiring me. I don't get out as often to conduct interviews or cover teams, not much like I used to, or cover events, not like I used to. COVID changed a lot of that, changed the desire. But thank you for the content that inspired me to be a better reporter during the times that I was a reporter. Thank you for the content that inspired me to stop saying you know, along with others who would tell me to don't say Thank you. The website and the musings from that website will be missed. So, well, that's all I have. I want to thank you all for listening or watching. The links to where you can find the show, there will be embedded somewhere, wherever you're catching this. We are, or I am, one day I'll be able to say we, maybe. But you can find this on Spotify. You can find this on iHeartRadio. You can find it on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Subscribe and like, please. Please, pretty please. And they'll be in other places as well. I'm hoping to end up on the Sirius XM podcast network as well. My fat fingers are crossed. That would be major. So thank you all for listening. I am Ernest James. This is Ernest James Speaks About Things. Until next time. Oh, take care of your people. Take care of your people. And take care of yourselves. Until next time.